Alright, so once you get everything untaped, here's what you should be left with. I had a little bit of damage here, just a bend on these pins, so I'll just straighten those out before I put them back in the connector. What's important is that those locking tabs are still there and are not broken. So we're good there. Let's get these pulled. So once they are all the way through, it is pretty easy to pull more slack through if you need it, which we will. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this end after we repin it into the connector, and we're going to stick it along with these wires right back into the door. And then up here, I'll take the zip tie off. It was just to hold these. So right back up here and then to our connectors. And then we'll do the same for this side. We'll just put them right through this hole into the cabin and run them all the way through and into the footwell area. Alright, so just a little tip for when you put these connectors back on. Grab those tabs that we push down and fold them back up to about that much. The higher up they are, the more tension they'll give, and the less likely they are to fall out of the connector. So just go ahead and flip those up a little bit. And we do have to be sure we have the right pin in the right hole, so let's get our connector, line it up with this one so we see, come on, there we go. So we got push tab towards the top, red is on the right and black is on the left. So let's get her in. So we have both pins, or both connectors repinned. We have enough slack in the wires. Go ahead and take this time to inspect your wires here and make sure that none of them rubbed up too much against the door and possibly could short out. Just give it a quick inspection. The sheathing on here is actually pretty good, so you should be fine, but definitely double check. And same on this side, even though these have tape around them pretty much the whole way. Always good to give it a quick visual inspection. Those look good. So let's poke our connector ends through the door. How am I going to do this? There we go. Alright, wires are through. Let me show you here. Oh, come on. Why can't I find it? There we go. So the wires are through. The grommet is ready to be pushed back into place. I will remove this tape before we do that, and make sure that when you pull them through, they're not stressed in any way. They come through, as comfortably as they can be, and out of the way of the other wires, of course. So let's get that clip back in, get this tape removed, and then put the grommet back on the door. Alright, so let's get those two wires into the cabin right here, and we are going to want to put them on the bottom part of that hole in the chassis because they come out of the bottom part of the grommet, so they'll sit comfortably that way. So let's get her done. Alright guys, you can see the wires right here. They have been pushed through this hole and they are coming out on the other side. The easiest way to see this hole, the one through which they come, is that square one right there. Ah man, I don't know if you can see that or not. Highly doubt it. You can kind of see it right there. See the wires, and you see that hole right there. So just make sure they go all the way through. Pull them out, and we're going to be going around this blower motor, around the back, and through the dash over there. So, hardest part's done. If you followed along this far, congratulations, because it is one hell of a job. So, let's get this door harness grommet back into the chassis of the cabin and get this door panel back on after we make our connections here, of course. So, alrighty, grommet is in on both sides. Just another tip for you. When you put this grommet back, you are going to have to close the door just a little bit to create more room in this area and angle it correctly so that those connectors can go straight into the cabin like this. And then once you get to that point, you're going to want to put in the bottom and the back side of the grommet in first. So the parts that you can't see, you want to get those situated, and then the top and the closer side, which you can see, you'll be able to push back into place. So now we are good to go. Now we just got to take care of this side and make our connections really quickly. I'll show you what that looks like finished. Alright, so once you got all your wires zip tied into place, definitely get your window and make sure that this does not get caught by the window, because right now it's looking pretty suspicious like it might. So definitely double check that, because the only thing worse than having to do this whole thing again is having to do it again because of a quick check of the routing of the wires. So double check it, connect your window switch and give your key on and test the up and down motion of the window to make sure this doesn't catch. So then we can put our door panel back on. Well, a quick check revealed that it would have touched the window. It would have touched once it was at the bottom, but it was touching nonetheless, so I decided I'd reroute them. Alright, here is how I routed those wires. I just ran it along the OEM harness, because obviously that one is going to clear fantastically, so I ran it along that. Didn't bother going around the track. I just went OEM harness all the way up and into this area. Put all the clips back, and now we're good to put this plastic back on and then the door panel. Alrighty, door panel is almost on all the way. We just need to put in the screws and that clip that goes right back in there. So just those three. Reconnect the window switch with that connector, and we should be good to go. Alright guys, now that we've got wires on both sides, we got the kick panel cover off on the driver's side and the passenger one also off. So here's our extra wire, or our amount of wire we have. What I'm going to do is make one more quick harness or like extension, so that I'm not running a connection behind all of this. If I have to take the door off, let's just say, I'll just disconnect it from this area, and then I'll be able to just pull these through, and I won't have to worry about trying to disconnect something all the way in here. So I'll just make a quick extension that goes from here to the other side, and we're actually going to be running cables right through that hole right there. You can see the dead pedal, the rest pedal all the way over there, and this is the hole we're going to run that wire through. It's about our only option. So this is it. We're 99% done. Just got to make one more connection. Alright guys, here's my quick intermediate harness, if you will. That's going to run right behind the dash and is going to connect on either side of the car. So one's going to connect on the driver's side and the other is going to connect on the passenger side. That way it's modular. Remember, modularity is the best friend of repairability. And so that's how we're going to do it. Let's see how we can fish this through. Alright, after minimal effort, it went right through. So you can see we got the one side on the driver's side and that one on the passenger side. So now we will connect it and tuck it up nicely so that neither you, the driver, or your passengers accidentally kick the wire or get caught on the wire. Alright, moment of truth here. This should automatically fold the mirror because the driver's side mirror is folded already. So as soon as we connect this, the passenger side mirror should mimic whatever position the driver's side is in, which is inward. So let's see. See if I can put you guys down right here. Okay. Let's close the doors. Alright, so remember the power mirrors only have power in the accessory position. So we've connected the driver or the passenger side mirror, but it's still out. And you can see the driver's side is in. So as soon as I put accessory on, we should see the passenger side fold in. Lovely. Passenger side, driver's side. Hit the button. Driver out, passenger out. Button again. You can hear the motors whining. That's all she wrote. Now we'll just tuck it up nicely and that's a wrap. Thank you guys for sticking around for so many different parts. I'll try to shorten this last video a bit because it was taken over several days. This job was definitely not easy, and I hope that all of you attempting this have the patience to do it right, do it once, and remember, modularity is key. So if you have to make a sub harness or two, I highly recommend doing that as opposed to directly wiring one wire all the way from the mirror through the door jamb, across the dash, and into the second door. For starters, that could give you all sorts of issues with the slack in the wire whenever you open the door and close the door. So definitely do it in segments and be patient, and I promise the results are worth it. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Like, subscribe, comment if any of you have finished it, and how difficult that the fishing the wire through the door jamb was for you. Like I said, I give that a solid 8.5. That sucked. Thanks, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.